Ready to go?
Yeah, sure. So.
Okay. Obviously, a big day in our country's history today, and had a little bit of a history lesson with the guys today for understanding the meaning of 9/11 and how it affects their personal lives, and how fortunate we all are to be at USC, playing football for USC, getting a world-class education, and the freedom that we get to have in this country. So we got to make sure we understand that. That being said, I thought our guys came out and had great energy today. Obviously excited about the opportunity that lies ahead of them. Really focused, and off to Boston.
When did you deliver that message?
This morning.
This morning?
Yep.
On the field?
In meetings.
Did anyone ask a question about it, or you just
No, we
like
showed a pretty good video. We showed about a 13-minute video, so that was pretty clear.
Was anyone uncomfortable about the fact that you guys are flying on 9/11?
I don't think so. You know, I think these guys have been fortunate enough to have flown enough. You know, we've traveled enough. You know, I think we know everybody on the airplane. I don't think we'll get hijacked. So.
How much do you think the kids know about? It's 13 years ago.
No, it's hard when you think about these freshmen, these 18-year-old freshmen. I mean, these guys were in kindergarten, you know, and I think about my daughter, you know, who's in the first grade now, and in a major event that could take place here. You know, how could I possibly expect her to really know what occurred, and just how lucky we are to be where we're at today. And so I think it's important to understand that type of stuff.
Did Leonard's workload increase today?
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did. You know,
and how did he look?
I mean, he looked good. I think he looked better this Thursday than a week ago. You know, Leonard is such a competitive guy. You know, again, I don't have any concern that he will play. It's just a matter of not having a setback. You know, and he was fortunate last week against Stanford that he didn't. You know, and so we'll monitor him closely. We talked about the substitution patterns that we used last week, so hopefully we can continue to do that.
I don't recall seeing Greg Townsend out here this
no,
week. Is he
he's still sick. You know, and I'm no doctor, but I think chicken pox generally occur when you're in your youth, and when you can get them as an adult, I think they can have a little bit more of an effect on you. So it's taking them a little bit longer.
The weather report in Boston says it might rain. How do you guys prepare for it?
I'm excited. I've missed the rain. No.
It's a real thing when you're in Seattle.
We're fine. You know, these guys have played in it before, and they've performed well in it before. You know, I don't know if I necessarily welcome it, but I think it would just be another piece of adversity that we can overcome and that we can use in the future. You know, we're just trying to build up this bank of stuff that we know we can go back and lean on, and if it happens to rain or be wet, you know, maybe that could be something that's a positive down the road.
With the time of kickoff on Saturday, does that kind of help with the East Coast time adjustment? It's
well,
not a noon game.
You know, for us, it wouldn't be a big deal. We start so early every day anyway. You know, I think that our guys would be fine either way. I think it allows us to get a little extra rest, which when you're traveling back-to-back weeks, that's helpful. Obviously traveling on Thursday today like we are is helpful as well. We can get there and get a little bit more acclimated. So all in all, I think we'll be fine with it.
Do you hear that Washington State game in Pullman where it snowed, sleeted, hailed, and rained like the half hour before the game? Were you? Where Pete,
no, I wasn't here.
You weren't here.
No.
Where Pete convinced them it was going to be the greatest experience in their lives.
Yeah.
And hail was hitting their helmets,
right.
And they all thought, this is great. So, okay, you did get to be part of that.
Boston College runs a lot fewer jumbo sets than they did last year. Do you think it's hard to defend an offense when all the personnel isn't come together?
Well, it is challenging. I think that's one of the unique strengths of their system is they give you a lot of stuff. They give you multiple personnel groupings. They give you just about every shift, motion, formation known that we can think of, and they have an athletic quarterback to do all that stuff. So, you know, we have to be very disciplined Saturday night in our defense, in our assignments, and not give up big plays. You know, because it takes one guy being wrong, and you can give up a big play, and we need to make them earn their yards all the way down the field.
Considering how USC's defended mobile quarterbacks in the past, were Tyler Murphy's legs a major emphasis this week in practice?
Without a doubt. I mean, if you notice, Jalen Green was our scout team quarterback this week, and I thought Jalen did a really good job of providing a good look to our defense on that front. So, it's a real challenge. Anytime you have a dual threat quarterback who can run it and throw it, and then when plays break down, can run it and throw it again, they present really unique challenges.
So we've talked about how in the first game you spread the ball around. There were a lot of completions to different guys. In the second game, not as much. Do you feel any need to talk to the young receivers, especially about not getting as many opportunities, or being patient, or every game being different, or any of those things?
Sure, without a doubt. I mean, that's all a part of the process. And whether it's a freshman who played in the first game and had a really big impact on the first ball game, or it's a redshirt freshman who's still trying to figure out what it's like not to have an integral part, not being the star player as a redshirt freshman. So, and everything in between. And I think, quite honestly, that's one of the unique pieces of being a coach, is that, everybody wants to look at the big picture and the wins and the losses and all those things, but there's so many other underlying stories in this that we have as coaches and as a responsibility to help develop our players, and that's just one piece of it. It's Juju Smith goes from 125 yards in his first game to, I think, -2 or something last week. So it's balancing that with him. And if you'd ask Juju, he'd tell you with a great smile on his face, he's so happy we just won the game. And that's the beauty of recruiting really high character kids to come in your program that want to come to USC for the right reasons. And I think we've got a locker room full of those guys.
Do one more.
TV coverage kind of. Go ahead. I'll get one.
It seems like Adoree, you're able to give him more responsibility each week. Is he unique in how much he can take on?
Yes, he's very unique. I think Adoree has an extremely high football IQ. He's a guy that has a natural feel for, you can run things with him once or twice and he can just retain it. He can hold on to it, and he might not do that same play for 3, 4, 5 days, but you put him right back in and call that same play and he can go out and execute it. And that shows really in all 3 phases for him, whether it's on offense, defense, or special teams. And so again, as much as he's athletically gifted, he's got a high football IQ to match that. Go ahead, Liz. You got it. Go ahead.
TV coverage obviously expands your guys' reach, but what's it do for your program to get on the East Coast and get exposed out there?
Well, it's a great point, because we've got a great deal of alumni on the Eastern Seaboard, and an opportunity for us to go back east to play in front of our fans there is huge for us. Obviously, the national exposure is what it is. When you get to be the primetime game and a national audience watching us play, I think is great for our program and recruiting and all those things. But as much of anything, it's going and playing in front of our Eastern Seaboard fans in person, which we embrace every time we get.